Okay, Isma.
All right.
Right, the lever. The lever that leads to the laboratory. That lever.
All right. So
Yeah.
talk them together.
Wait a minute.
If I'm not mistaken, let's go ahead and get ourselves started off with this Saturday's usual session of D&D with our beloved intrepid adventuring party. In doing so, where we step off where we last left our party, we do so where they find themselves in the under kingdoms of a misbegotten and frozen tundra that is almost pockmarked and forgotten amongst the face of the world. Doing so, they have managed to get themselves into the relatively comfortable shroud of cover into these under kingdoms and these tunnels below the earth that seem to at least collide with that of the underdark and that of the overdark, or at least the usual underground that one might persuade themselves to say has nothing bad in it. As we pick up where we last left off and get ourselves back into character, we will go ahead and do so with our party finally getting themselves awakened to what they would only hope would be an actual morning, as they have just awoken from their usual slumber out of a long rest, finding themselves just out of a small encounter with the guards to make sure that nothing has gone too wrong, and to find out their intentions with the city and its fortifications. So we will pick up there. I will open the floor to the party. What would you guys like to do?
And where are they exactly? Are they? Sorry, my brain derped.
You're good. You guys are still currently in the far north of the map.
Mhm.
You guys are in the brigade. You're at the southern side of the brigade, currently still traveling along the coast. That's how you ran into the large cove that seemed to have at least a large iron door seemed sealed away. But as you guys knocked, it opened. You guys were actually able to make it in, and you found yourselves into the underfrost, as it's called.
Nudity.
As you have, as technically was explained to you by the guards, you have the over and underfrost. The overfrost is controlled by the lords above, and the underfrost controlled by those who strove to retreat below after being conquered. Right now, you're in the kingdom, or at least the territory, of one of the underlords. One who has either previously been conquered or retreated down here to save their own skins. But that is where we last left off for you guys. And your morning is relatively uneventful. A couple of patrons around the inside of the inn. Some of them are slurping on a liquid breakfast. Others chowing down on what seems to be a thick stew. And same stew that you guys smelled earlier. One with meat, onions, bit of potatoes. But other than that, uneventful.
Well, that's good.
Anything you guys wish to do? Or is it just a silent morning?
I believe it's just going to be a silent morning.
Fair enough.
I suppose Naren wouldn't do too much necessarily. Just look around a bit, see what's going on.
Okay. You want to stay in the tavern and look around, or are you just gonna take a
For
gander
now,
outside the front
he's
of the
he's
tavern?
gonna like take a quick peek to the front of the tavern. Besides that, he's gonna stay inside.
Really isn't too much. You
Oh,
do see
oops.
that there are a couple of guards staking out the front end of the tavern, but other than that, nothing really too out of the ordinary.
Mhm.
So it's relatively quiet. I mean, not much to do other than perhaps take on that the guards are maybe looking after you guys, making sure you aren't doing shit. But yeah, should be fine. And the usual barkeep, the tall woman. Skin is relatively stone gray, pockmarks of white. Still relatively pale and gaunt looking. But she's tall for a human. Definitely tall. She serves you guys happily. Coin is coin. Why is it in her mind to decide whether she should take yours or not?
Mhm.
So,
I'm guessing we thank her for the stay at the tavern, right?
she shrugs. You just kind of cautiously thank her. She give a nod. Well, thank you. At least you're welcome as well. It's the least I can do.
Um, I guess they go on their merry ways then.
Right?
As soon as everyone's finished with what they wanted to do, so.
No time to explore. You guys just want to head out?
Can we explore?
Yeah, if you want to. This isn't a set quest where you can only go here and there. I mean, this is an open world. It's D&D for a reason.
Clyde looks over at the other party members and he's like, huh? Huh?
We may as well see what there is to offer. We do need supplies regardless.
Yeah, let's go. Like kind of like there's like a fist pump in the air, be like, woo, you
Well,
know.
suppose we're going on a shopping trip.
All right. Shopping trip it is. So as you guys step out into the town, what are you exactly looking for? Should be the main question, I suppose.
Do they have a music shop?
Uh, I mean, they might. Granted, this place isn't much. I mean, people around here don't have time to do very much. So if you want to try, sure. You can try looking for one.
Yes, we will look for the music shop.
Okay, go ahead and make me an investigation check as you and the rest of the group are following around like a small group of tourists.
I mean, we are tourists.
Yeah, you are.
Actually, is there, as we're walking to it, to find an instrument shop, Alice is gonna like try to keep an eye if there's any noble places that might sell herbs
I
or
got a
potions.
15.
15. All right. Volus, you go ahead and make me an investigation check as well. Or actually, no, this would be a perception, since you're just looking around as you're walking.
Okay, I got a 19.
So, as Clyde is looking for a music shop somewhere to actually rejuvenate their musical supplies, you keep an eye out, and you actually find, just out of the corner of your eye, you see what seems to be some sort of a small, out-of-the-way nook and cranny. Looks to be made of some gentle stone. You not sure why it catches your eye until you see what looks to be some sort of a small moss that looks to pockmark the front end of it and growing up in almost a small sheet that covers a lot of the stonework.
Mm.
All right.
And looking at it, I mean, it might seem to be some sort of a shop, hopefully. Something
Yeah.
growing like that might have some sort of druidic value.
Mm. He kind of stops a moment, like looks over at this mossy sheen, and just like, "Hey guys, I'm going to check something out real quick." And then he just wanders over to investigate further.
Okay.
All right. Take your time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Take your time. No rush.
I mean, yeah, the world's just, whatever.
Look, I'm the one that also
turns
makes.
off and walks.
I know, I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Just giving you a ration of shit because I can. Alright. So, that was much
Oh, yeah,
better.
by the
You
way,
immediately take yourself off to the side. You trying to find your own, well, thing to do, I should say.
yes.
In doing so, Niram, you and Clyde continue on. Clyde, you do manage to actually find a small shop out of the way. It looks to be a small whittling shop.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much in the way of going on, but they're all small pieces of woodwork that look to be flutes, layer pipes, and mostly just those. There isn't too much in the way of instruments. You do find a couple of drums, but most of those are relatively small. But the shop itself looks to have very few people in the way of actual patrons.
Mm-hmm.
And the person running it looks ancient. I mean, Pinocchio's dad, but older. Like, person looks old.
Oh.
The tuft of shocking white and gray hair that looks up at you behind the thick, what you could only guesstimate are rudimentary glasses that have been half cobbled together. Ah, what can I do for you? Not many people come in here.
Hello, my good sir. It says as he
Hello.
enters the the shop. Do you have any instruments of the musical variety around?
I might have a couple. If you look around, there shouldn't be too much.
Thank you very much. And he goes to either look for a new harmonica to replace the one he gave to Rowan or an accordion.
Okay. No, there is no accordion here, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, most of the stuff here is layer pipes or even a flute. That's about it.
Oh, I will take the flute then.
Okay.
I will take the thing that makes doot.
I will take the flute. It is now mine.
All right.
This is now mine, and I will love it.
It is now mine. Okay.
It is mine. There may like it, but this one's only mine.
You pick it up and bring it to the old man. He set it down. It's a relatively basic flute. The wood is rough in your hands, and you go down it.
Mm-hmm.
Feels cold. Like it seems whatever frozen wood was still used for this flute, at least the makings of it, it's still imbued with that cold.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Actually, great. I have a off-topic question. For the map, you have the brigade, Ming. Is this area down here just unclaimed land or uninhabitable land on the map?
one
Down
second.
here.
Down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's for another story. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
But as I quote from Conan, but that is for another story.
All right, then keep your secrets.
I will, thank you.
You're
All right.
welcome.
Bullis, as you step into or at least step by it, the shop itself smells immediately of a very earthly scent. The moss that just seems to. You're not even sure what kind of a smell it is. But whatever it is, it's not too pleasant. It has a very bitter taste to it. And as you take the time to steal yourself away, it in and of itself, it's almost a noxious smell. Like someone would be. Have you ever walked through somebody smoking weed?
Sadly, Gus.
Yeah, it's kind of like that smell. It's like you walked through somebody smoking. It's just a smell you can't put your finger on, but one that you know of. You get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As you walk into it, you open the door, immediately you just get burst with a backhand of even more of this scent. It just rushes out to meet you. And ugh, reach up and hold your nose and keep it closed.
Oh, God, that's strong. You kind of just gaze to see if there's anyone inside this rather strong smelling building.
With that, you step into it and you look around. The shop itself is small. It's a squat building that doesn't have too much to it. But there are more people in here. You can definitely see that this place has a little bit more of a value to it than a music shop or a whittler might. As you scrounge about and continue just pecking around with your eyes, keeping your nose shut, breathing through your mouth, You look over and see that the shop is run by a mousy-looking man. One you wouldn't expect to see in the area of the brigade. Someone who looks weak. Thin muscles, thin hair, small eyes, and a small body all compact into one mousy-looking stature. They look up at you and you see them give a soft wave, both out of good humor and I really hope somebody isn't going to come by.
Can you say that last bit again? You cut out.
I really hope somebody isn't going to come by and hit me. There seems to be a mixture of emotions behind the smile of the wave.
As he's like to there, his eyes kind of like dark to like the left and right. Is there any notable like herbs that he can probably tell right off the bat?
Make me a medicine check, actually.
Medicine. Dirty 20. 18 plus 2.
Okay. Looking around, yeah, there are a couple of things you see around here. Most of them are natural remedies and such, minor healing adhesives and other goods. Most of them you need to either put into a mortar and pestle and grind into a fine paste until it works. But most of the stuff here is minor medicinal things. Something you might put on a scrape or a cut. So you could possibly be interested in these. It might be useful in combat.
Okay, after like the quick glance, he kind of looks down at the mousy individual. Greetings there, lad.
Hi, what can I do for you?
I'm in need of, well, some herbal remedies for me and my friends, even if it's base ingredients.
I have a couple of those if you want to look around. I mean, I'd be happy to show it to you, if you'd like.
Sure. Do you happen, by the looks of it, mm, he kind of just takes a gaze. Most of these are for minor remedies, right? Do you happen to have anything more stronger? And he's trying to keep his tone like soft, trying not to.
I I might, but those are normally reserved for the guards or for the others when they come by.
Others?
Uh, j- 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 um, some usual customers, nothing else.
Well, while I cannot force you, I will say I would pay well for them.
I, go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
23.
All right. As he looks at you, just, um, I can sell you a little bit, if that's okay. I can't sell you too much though.
That is fine. That is fine. Mm, You can just. I guess he's keeping more attentive, like since he's asking this, like his eyes wander just to see if anybody's like looking at him. Because
What's your passive perception?
passive perception is a 15.
15. Yeah, there are a couple of people looking at you. About 2 of them.
As much as he just raises an eyebrow, just even noted that he's being watched, but he doesn't want to do anything that would be much of an issue, so he doesn't take any action against it unless they try to approach him.
Okay, so you're just staying out of the way.
Yeah, he's cautious, but he's not gonna like, call him out on it.
Okay. The shopkeep kind of takes a small look and I wouldn't look at them. They're just they're speaking really low about this. He's just they're some of the just watchers to make sure that the stuff they need isn't sold too much.
I understand.
He's fumbling around, but he stands up and walks by. He goes to a small container that seems to be lodged into one of the sides of these long shelf tables. And pulling out of it's a small, almost a snuff box. He opens it up and retrieves a small bag of what almost looks to be they're small, black and round, almost like a black peppercorn. And he would put that out for you. You can dumps it out into his hand to show it to you, and then he puts it back and puts it on the table and closes the snuff box. That's what I can offer you if you're interested in it.
His eyes kind of wander down to these ingredients, let's say. Is he able to like discern what it is, even by?
Sure, make me another medicine check.
All right, let's go. A 16 plus 2, that is 18.
Yes, this stuff is actually what is known, or pretty much just widely renowned. It's essentially a very, I wouldn't say pungent, but once ground up and somewhat toasted, one's able to add this to a natural remedy to make it into a relatively decent healing salve. It's also a minor ingredient that can be substituted into a healing potion to make it stay longer and that sort of stuff. It's a minor thing that can be used to enhance others.
Okay, so it's an enhancer.
Yeah, it's essentially an enhancer.
And all right, well, in his tones remaining that soft, low voice, how much are these and how many are you willing to afford to part with?
I can only sell you the pouch. I can sell it to you for 3 gold.
And he kind of gazes over at the pouch. Is he able to like guess how many could it contain? Like from looking
Be
before?
enough. It would be enough to essentially make a remedy for maybe 8 people.
All right. I guess I shall take that and kind of looks at some of the minor herbs. How much is it for regular stuff?
Um, um,
Just
if it's too much for you,
no. It's not too much. I'm just asking to go with this. That way it doesn't seem like
yeah, if you're looking for it, it's you can. He points out, and you can follow his finger. You look over and actually see what seems to be some sort of an. It looks to be a dried flower petal. You, in your infinite healing wisdom, would know that this is White Widow. It is not known as a poison, it is known as an anti poison. It's essentially used against poisoned wounds or even infected bites or cuts. It's a healing agent, like most of the stuff in here. A very, very minor one, but potent enough to remedy poisons and natural things such and the like.
I guess with this, I will, I guess, have some of that White Widow as well. And he just leans back and just fiddles with his satchel. How much would it be with the White Widow overall?
Um, um, 5 gold.
All right. He takes out 5 gold pieces and to uh, this man.
As that's going on, one of the other patrons walks over and kind of brushes his shoulder up against yours and leans over and kind of looking over your shoulder. You wouldn't happen to be buying anything illegal, would you?
Illegal. You see, like, raise around.
Nothing illegal. Just herbs and remedies. Right. And what was that substance coming out of that snuff box? Huh? That looked to me like something quite illegal. Wouldn't you agree? And kind of shoulder checks you and just kind of bumps it into your back.
Mhm. Well, what would be deemed illegal in this place, if you don't mind me asking? Just as
Well,
he's like bumping.
considering it's in your hand, I'd say that pouch is. Why don't you hand it over?
Hmm. Can I roll?
There's no need for it's there's still enough for everybody. Shut your gulp. Let's say that looks a bit illegal. Why not hand it to a man who knows what he's doing with it?
Can I
And
roll
he's still at
insight?
your back. Sure. Roll insight.
See if he's like just trying to mug him of the stuff. I got 15.
Uh, yeah, he's not exactly a mugger, but you can probably guess that this is one of the people who are trying to make sure that the good stuff stays in so that they can buy it in bulk later.
Hmm. Hmm. Well then, my friend, if such item is illegal, you wouldn't happen to show me where it is, or where it states that. Hmm. I'm simply here purchasing medical herbs, and by the looks of it, he just gazes around the shop. There's nothing illegal here. Unless you're telling me herbal remedies are legal in this land.
You feel something sharp against your back. I think it's illegal for you to be purchasing them. Why don't you hand them over? Nobody needs to get hurt. Just hand them over. Take the other stuff you've purchased and leave. I'll be generous.
Let's see. He kind of looks behind him. Is there anyone else with this guy?
Looking around, it seems the two individuals that were staring at you. It seems like they're part of a group. Both rugged individuals, dressed in pretty much the dark leather and straps.
Does it look like they're part of the guards?
Nope,
No.
by no means. These guys look like guards.
Let's see. Oh, I was need to fix that bit. Am I able? Let's see. Charm person needs to be vocal and somatic, so it would be obvious. I'm trying to think.
All
I
right,
know
well, as you're thinking, this guy to your back is getting rather impatient. Come
Man.
on.
Are you sure you really want to be threatening me with a blade right now?
Well, quite frankly, yes. I do want to be threatening you.
Oh, lad, oh, lad. If you really think this is going to end well, and I am going to cast. I want to use Misty Step.
Okay.
Just to just get behind all three of them. But at a distance.
All right. So you, in essence of a few seconds, seem to mystify out of this guy's hands and appear at the back end of the shop.
I'll say this only once, because I actually value those of herbal remedies. You follow me and make sure that you will only be ash. So don't even think about threatening your little toys of evil. He says and his hand crackles a bit, but he does, with the pouch, take his leave, having left the coins right there on the counter. I think
The
you
thug, as you just turn around and leave. You're a small kind of a whistle and makes a head motion over. He turns around and says one last thing to the shopkeep, who looks really pale after saying it, or listening to it at least.
Hmm.
And the thugs will take after you. Not
Can I
running, but they'll walk.
Can I cast invisibility on myself?
Yeah. So you disappear. And they look around. You might have magic. I'll give you that. This place isn't your home, is it? You're gonna stick out like a sore thumb, and we're gonna decide to come after it. Sleep well, traveler. You might need to do it with one eye open.
He doesn't really say anything as he at least starts making his way over to look for his companions.
As you step out of the shop, the thugs do as well, and they both keep an eye out. As they see the door open and close. The one that spoke to you looks over to the other one that came over to join him, makes a small motion, and you can turn around and look and see as the other man dashes off and runs off into the crowds of the streets. The one that was talking to you looks over and kind of brings up a small pipe and lights it. Turns back into the shop. Got another thought. And you walk off. Easily enough, within about maybe another 20 or so minutes, you were able to run into your companions. Niram is taller than most of the individuals here, not by much, maybe about a foot or so, but it's pretty easy to find a tall dragonborn. So,
Okay.
especially one as big as him.
Okay, so it's been 20 minutes, so I have 40 on my invisibility. Good. Niram could probably, Wells kind of walks over to Naram, rather behind him, and he does spoke out. Naram, you
Oh,
there?
yes, I'm.
Do not turn around, because I am right now hidden. It seems some ragtag group of individuals seems to not be fond of us here or trying to buy much
What?
here.
Okay. What happened?
Simply went to go buy some herbs and, well, simple enough. They're not guards, but they try to mug me, and by the looks of it, they're going to try to search for me. Now, I don't have long with my spell, but it's clear that we will not be able to stay here long, or at least myself, rather.
So, did you buy something weird?
No, just some decent medical herbs. Seems like they were greedy for it, and they wanted to start conflict.
All right.
If I decide to push into it, then, well, you probably
Give
see
me,
fire by now.
yeah, just give me the details so I can keep an eye on them as well.
He then tries to explain what they look like with the black garments that they don't look like any guards, but by the looks of it, they're. Can Velas assume they're like some Thieves Guild-esque group or thug group?
You can assume what you want. I
All
will
right,
never stop you from assuming whatever you want when you're in character.
very well.
Assume what you will. I don't care what you think. What you
Ouch.
know is an entirely different story.
Any specific features we need to watch out for? Like, did you see like an oddity on someone's face? Maybe a prominent scar?
Can I try to roll to see if there was any facial features that he noticed or any emblems that they had? Or did they look like common street thugs or in black garbs?
No, they were wearing just rugged leather that was relatively dark browns, blacks, bits and pieces. I mean, most of the stuff here in the brigade doesn't have too much color to it. Most of it is dark renditions of whatever it is. Most of the dyes they have access to are not the best, I should say.
Hmm. Kind of gazes at Narum, but he's still looking around in his invisible state. Sadly, aside from them looking ragged with, I guess not the best garbs, they didn't have no emblems or notable features by far.
All right, just if you see them, let me know.
Mm. Do you know where the others are? I may as well go with them. I could
Zorm is
probably
still there with you. And besides, you guys are in a place that isn't too fond of strangers. So it's better to stick together. You were the only exception to that rule because you just decided to say, fuck it.
Just let's stick together and see what happens.
Right. Actually, with this, I
Let's
am
stick
going.
together. All right, actually.
Actually, no.
Wallace is just gonna put on one of his cloaks that he has. It's a normal cloak. And grab on the hood before dispelling the invisibility.
All right. To spell it. And you now stand there, bare to the eye, for the entire world to see. Except now dressed in a cloak, like any good Marvel superhero trying to hide in a crowd. It's completely obvious, but hey, it works.
Hey, it's cold. It makes sense to wear a hood.
Yeah. Well, actually, down here it's warm, so it's really warm. It's a comfortable, almost say, for our European brethren, it'd be about 12 Celsius, I think. So it's warm. And for our other compatriots, about relatively smooth, maybe about 60, 62. It's actually pretty warm down here. And humid. Really humid. But other than that, no, it's relatively decent down here. I mean, you wouldn't build a summer home down here, but yeah, it's decent. So, with that, as you're going to go ahead, you guys continue. You now visible. Is anybody who you don't want to notice you? Okay. Yeah, as far as you guys are aware, nothing of any note is following or hampering you. If there's anything else you'd like to do, Zoram is keeping his mouth shut currently. He's just keeping his eyes open, scanning the streets, looking for anything that might interest himself. However, the both of you, as Clyde is currently working on their flute, just eyeing it and running their hands up and down the wood, getting a feel for it. Both of you are just cautiously keeping an eye out. The problem with being in a place populated with pirates is that everybody looks like a thug. Everybody looks like a murderer. And everybody looks like some sort of ne'er-do-well. Eventually, as you continue walking by, where are you guys heading? Or are you just meandering about?
I rather take the notion that we just get what we need and then travel as soon as possible. Maybe since we don't have our cart anymore, we probably need um, horses or something if they have any.
You want horses here? Good luck.
Well, as a thought,
I'm just, even as a thought, this is your subconscious speaking. Good luck.
Yes. It's just the lich saying, "Hi, you fucking idiot." Um. So, he kind of looks between Clyde and Rowan. Do we need anything else here, or shall we just get to traveling?
I don't necessarily need anything else.
Alright, that's what I came here for, and that
How
looks
about
like
y'all?
Clyde.
If you got mugged, do you maybe want to check
Didn't get mugged.
the
They
shop?
did. Clyde, I didn't get mugged. I managed to get away before then, but no doubt they're probably going to be looking for me.
Yeah, so then maybe one of us should go check in on that shopkeep.
Well, we can't play hero all the time, Clyde, and plus, it would be a lot more troublesome if we started any conflict here, especially as foreigners.
It's not starting conflict, it's literally us going to that shopkeep and just making sure he's okay.
And here, ladies and gentlemen,
Or
is where you
they're
find the
okay.
difference between neutral good and true good.
Clyde, look at me a moment. If
Mm-hmm.
a conflict started at a certain area, wouldn't they expect one to return to the scene of the crime, hypothetically, to ambush them?
Yes, however, you're not going, it's someone else.
They'll probably assume that you are with me. We all know how this song and dance, as you like to call it, goes, usually.
I have never once called it a song and dance. That's Rowan's department.
Frankly, I find that offensive. But
You'll get used to it.
look, he continues munching on his bread.
Regardless,
Fuck it.
regardless, from what I saw, they seemed more interested in me than the shopkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
So let's put it at that.
Alright, then just hold on one second. Clyde kind of like look around to see which one of them particularly would like fit in the most normal, I guess, what the crowd around them would look like.
None of us.
Normal, probably Even though
Narum?
he's a dragonborn, and there really aren't too many of those around here. He's big, he's burly, and he's armed.
Mm-hmm. Right then, Clyde would point to Narum, being like, Narum, I'm wanting you to go check on that shopkeep.
Naomi, you do not need to if you do not want to. I just rather we get out of the city as soon as possible and not waste any more time than need be. Keep in mind we still got stuff to do.
As
Right.
Rowan is currently nibbling on his piece of bread.
By the way,
Look,
Clyde would have
he's
also
not a
paid for the
baker.
fruit.
Why do we care about him? He's not a baker.
Oh wow, Rowan, look at you and your bias coming out.
It's not bias, it's the truth.
You're being
Bakers are
biased.
makers of food. Makers of food are obviously more important than people who supply remedies.
Alright, well, what if he has a family member that's a baker? Then what?
Clyde,
Well, then it sucks that they have to attend a funeral.
You're really
I'm
not
gonna keep that
helping
in mind next time you break your leg.
Yeah, bakers can't tend to set broken bones.
Clyde, you don't know where the shop is. No, I don't think anyone here knows where the shop I went to is. Let's just get the hell out, because this place isn't necessarily a good place either. Please.
Yeah, come on, it's a side quest.
Oh my god. No, I'm actually with Valis here. We probably shouldn't overextend our visit here.
Yes.
People have already been antsy as all hell. Don't need to drag it out any further.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I'm worried too, but
He'd
It's not
then
like we
look
have all
to
the time in the
Rowan
world.
and Ryoka.
Ryoka would shrug. Look, if you want to defend him, you can go and defend him. I'm up in the air, but look, there's no issue with us here. Why should we even stay? Let's get a move on. Life is gonna be life here.
Hmm.
Mm. We cannot save every soul, even if one wants to. The only thing we could do is, well, what we're doing to probably save much more than one alchemist or herbalist, pardon me, in a place that's. He kind of mutters less than desired. So let us take our leave and be done with this discussion.
But it's less desired because no one's doing anything to change it.
Can you smack Clyde over the head with one of your breads, please? Just
Do you know how long I have been waiting for you to say that?
Clyde would look to Rowan before he bonked him with the bread, being like, I bought you that bread.
And now we've come full circle.
I'm gonna
And he
stop buying you
bonks
bread if
with
you
it.
hit me.
He stops. He looks over at you, Volus. This is a predicament, you see. How will we
that-
remedy this? His hand is
Wait.
still extended with a long piece of bread, about to bonk
What?
Clyde with it.
What is Clyde doing to prevent this?
Clyde's his bread supplier when he runs out of coin from buying bread.
Which I don't think is gonna happen. Doesn't Rowan sit on like a good 700 gold?
Rowan has, if I'm not
Just
mistaken, at the
5
moment,
coins.
nearly about. He is. It's relatively low. He only has about 73 gold pieces.
I mean,
and
that's
almost
still
100 silvers.
that's still a lot for just bread funds.
And Clyde periodically buys him bread.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Tell you what, Rowan, if you bonk him over the head, I'll try to turn your bread into that. Apparently, remember that honey glove fruit that we had from the wild? Apparently, it's used to make
He
a
looks at you, squints. Honeyglow is not bread. And he puts the
Well,
bread away.
no, but I heard from a baker that it is used to make a very delicious bread up north. So, do it and I might scour the
Make me
rest.
a persuasion check against a bard.
Sure, let's fucking go.
You must
I got-
persuade him to do this.
I got a 25, so let's try this.
I raise you a 28.
God
Let's
damn it.
go.
I raise you a 28. As you try to persuade him, I have not seen this bread, so I do not know how it tastes. Yet. Perhaps once we finally do, I shall take an eye to it. However, yet I do not. So,
Very
be that as
well.
may, you will have to find somebody else to do your bidding.
Fine. Let's just get out of here now. We probably caused enough commotions.
I mean, most of the people are just kind of looking around like, what the fuck are they doing? Is looking at people raising a piece of bread out to hit somebody with it. It's not something normal that people would see on the street.
True. Anyways, is everyone ready to head off? I will take your silences as a yes.
By the way, Grape, how much was the flute?
The flute was 2 copper pieces.
All right, I would have given him a silver.
The old man would kind of rather astounded that you would do that. You guys always overpay.
I haven't overpaid. What do you mean?
I'm sorry for being generous.
Mm-hmm.
Generosity will get us killed.
At some point, probably.
Mm-hmm. But for now,
Need
it's
to write
money
that
for the
down.
poor.
One sec, I need to write that down.
What?
Nothing? All right.
You gave him an idea.
You're the one that overpaid.
You're the one who commented on it.
All right. So, with that, as done by everyone else here, guys, do you want to try and go through the tunnels, or are you guys going to go back up onto the surface? There are 2 ways you can try and take this. You can try and find somebody to lead you through the under tunnels so you don't have to deal with the cold, or you can go up above and deal with the cold and whatever creatures lie above.
I would ask for a guide.
Let's see. Do we take our chance? Surface, we probably won't have to deal with many people. But the underpass would probably be quicker and, well, warmer. All I'm going to say is if we pick the underpass, we just probably have to prepare for any conflict.
You already prepare for conflict.
All right. So, with all of that being said, how are you guys going to try and find a guide if you want to go through the tunnels? And how are you going to try and get yourselves out without being too much of a hassle to everybody else around?
We go to one of the good-looking guards. Like the non-shady ones.
Okay.
Do we find one?
Gonna be difficult down here.
Mm.
But yeah, you
Yeah.
can try and find a guard here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Clyde, would it be a wise idea when, well, the reputation of this place?
So do you want to look for the most shady one?
No. I'm saying, be it most good looking or shady that is, keep in mind that not all of them can be trusted.
We'll get a vibe from their generalness.
I swear, you are way too happy-go-lucky sometimes.
And you're a Debbie Downer that makes me want to cry myself to sleep. But let's not dwell on that. And Clyde would go off to try and find them a guide.
All right. Sure. Go ahead and make me.
I swear, one of these days, Clyde's gonna get us killed, and he's gonna mutter that in Draconic towards an arrow.
Zoram will speak up here in Draconic as well. And sometimes it might get us saved. Who knows? Thinking positively does not always get one killed, nor does it always keep them alive.
Alright, what do I have to
should
roll again?
Say make me a general charisma check, just asking around, seeing if people will
17
call.
plus 5. Charisma is my best skill.
I know that. You're a bard. You're doing what a bard should do. Talking around what you managed to find for yourself is not only that you're able to get a couple of people talking, but it seems most people down here aren't actually all that bad. Granted, they've been grown hardy and strong. Doesn't mean they aren't people.
Mm-hmm.
As you ask around, a couple of people are answering the same thing. If you want a guide, you need to talk to some people. And the people you need to talk to are normally hanging around in taverns and inns.
Mm-hmm.
And the way you'll find them is that they have a small patch on their shoulders or cloaks, whatever they wear. The patch itself is a small spider that looks to be on a shield.
Clyde gets the biggest smile on his face each and every single time they mention spiders.
As you keep getting a bigger and bigger smile when they say spiders, are you all right?
I'm fine. I have a soft spot in my heart for the eight-legged creature.
They look at you rather weirdly as you say that.
They're a special case.
Right. They just stare at you, Clyde. They just don't really know how to react to that.
Off to find a tavern.
Alright, well,
That's how we
going to the one
respond.
going to the one where you guys originally stayed, there really
Yep.
aren't too many people in there, so not too much excuse me.
We'd ask
Not
the
too much to do.
we'd ask the barkeep if they've seen any of these individuals about.
She looks around and looks at you. Well, there are always a couple of them around. I mean, uh, they're a pretty lucrative statement to the cities, especially the ones underground.
Mm-hmm.
They function as guards and as guides, if you want to think of them that way. You can either request them, or you can just find them around and offer them money and they'll take you. Just sometimes you need to offer them a bit more based on where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
As is the sake for all tour guides, I might say.
Of course, of course.
If you want, you might actually be able to find a large grouping of them. About maybe 10 minutes that way, finding a little hole in the wall. Don't need to worry about it, the name, because that is the name. It's hole in the
Hole in
wall.
the wall. Mm-hmm.
It's over near the tunnels, so you'll be able to find the name pretty ironic, or at least funny, depending upon how you look at it. But to each their own.
Well, thank you very much for the information, and he would give her a gold piece.
If I knew information was that lucrative, I might be giving it out a bit more. She put the gold piece away.
Don't question it. All right, with that, he would return to the rest of the party and inform them that they have to go to a little place called the Hole in the Wall.
Clyde?
You guys,
Yes.
You sure that's the name and they weren't just trying to get rid of you?
Yes.
Okay, just asking.
I hope anyway. No,
There's the hope.
I hope she wouldn't lie to me after, the past few times I've been playing in her tavern for free and, getting in all the different people, if anything, I think she would have wanted me to stay longer so I could start drawing in more people.
I mean, I suppose, but also... Wait, I think that's her motive then.
What do you mean?
I mean, okay, look at it like this, right? What if you never find that place? You go back, and she tells you another weird, freaky story about another place that you need to go to. You go there, and still not the right place. You lose hope and just say, "Yeah, whatever, the fuck, I'll just stay here for a bit."
Well, if that's the case, I wouldn't end up playing.
I don't know. Maybe you do it to pass the time.
I'd just sit there and drink water.
Okay, fair enough.
But hole in the wall it is.
All right.
Still a weird freaking name.
You have a weird name.
Wasn't that game show
It's-
called Hole in the Wall?
No, you don't need to make it personal. My goodness.
I'm sorry. I was just trying to have a bit of fun.
Light has woken up.
Have a
and
bit
showed
of
us
fun
violence,
by insulting the man.
Exactly.
And it seems that of all of us, Clyde is the one that woke up with choosing violence.
Guy kind of looks at you with a small glint in his eye and then carries on in the direction he was told to carry on in.
I'm going to carry on in the direction I was told to carry on.
Yep.
Carry on. All right. So, with the addition of this information, you guys trek down the street following the directions given to you by the barkeep. Her directions do not seem to be in vain. Over near what is quite literally a hole in the wall of a very large establishment, the building itself is nestled inside of another building.
Mm-hmm.
The main building you face is what looks to have been an old, you can almost think of it as a constabulary, an old guardhouse. You can see that there is now a giant hole in the front end of it. And you see nestled into it looks to be a small tavern. Nestled into the nooks and crannies, built into the bits and pieces of leftover and non-destroyed wood and stone, is an honest-to-God tavern.
Mm-hmm.
A little sign that says "The Hole in the Wall."
Very.
Rather quaint for some place like this.
Huh?
Okay, you know what? Maybe people just have weird naming conventions all over. And, it's a matter of relativity. I love how you didn't only cheer in game, but also out of game and in Twitch chat.
The words I try to fathom to describe this is unimaginable right now.
It's a hole in the wall. What were you expecting?
Maybe a bit of creativity.
You
I'll
know
give you-
what? This is creative because he hasn't done anything like this in this campaign yet.
No, I
You
wasn't.
know-
I didn't mean Grape's creativity. I mean the people who named that establishment.
Listen, at least it's a lot better than the lustful trout.
Hey, you haven't run into the lustful trout. You can't do that.
We've heard stories, Grape. We've heard stories.
Look, just because somebody caught a fish doesn't mean anything happened, okay?
Sure,
Oh,
sure.
God.
We completely understand.
My goodness.
Clyde's just dead.
Clyde's having trouble, man. Clyde's having trouble.
Uh,
Dear Lord.
Oh god, just after this, our next story arc is just for some reason trying to find this tavern.
Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money. You guys is gonna be Tavern Crawl 2, The Quest for the Lustful Trout.
God.
Jeez.
Just to find the origin story.
New achievement unlocked.
Our next world, like globe spanning quest is just gonna be a fucking rumor hunt. Why is this tavern called the Lustful Trout and who fucked a fish?
Alright, so moving on with this. For what is going on here, I need everybody to just go ahead and make me a general wisdom check as you walk into the tavern. Just general wisdom.
I got a 12.
Okay.
I got a 17.
Take the first digit away from me. I have a 7.
Ouch.
Oh. You know what? That's not bad.
Could be worse.
Indeed.
Alright. So, with that, as you guys step in, you hear what sounds like a actual atmosphere to this music. There is almost a jovialness to walking into the tavern.
There's music.
A very, very soft music. It's just like somebody's just strumming some sort of instrument, not with any skill, but just the sound of drunken singing is very prevalent.
Clyde starts to buzz with excitement as there are other bards besides Rowan he might be able to jam with.
Rowan looks offended.
Look, man, it's not my fault Rowan had another bard who was also playing the accordion have a seizure.
What?
It was
They
an
didn't coincidentally have a seizure.
it was an
He
unfortunate.
made that bard have a seizure.
It was a coincidental activation of a latent poison. Nothing he could have
Yeah,
known when he
sure.
mind crushed that
Sure.
person.
Sure.
Look,
Latent
man.
activation of poison.
Look, man, alright? You know, and I know what happened in that. We take this to our grave. However,
However, yours might come a lot sooner than mine.
oh jeez, no. I mean, two can keep a secret if one of them is dead, but that's besides the point.
All right. So with that, as you march in, you are greeted by a jovial atmosphere that immediately seems to produce a pungent smell of mead, wine, and, well, intoxication. It seems like this place has a little bit more oomph to it rather than the previous tavern. This place is a bit more well known. You look around and you see patrons all throughout. There's maybe about 60 people kind of crammed in on top of each other. Even being a 2-story little tavern that's built into a small, just into another building, it has some size to it, and that size is being used. As you walk in, nobody seems to even care. You're just another group of patrons coming to enjoy some drinks.
Alright, we'll go out looking for a sober guy with the patch.
If you're looking for somebody sober, you're doing it wrong. But anyway,
Yep.
sure. Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Yeah,
as you're
we're gonna look
skimming
for
through
the
the crowd.
We're gonna look for the most sober guy here.
Great. I do have a question. I
I
know
do
this
have
is
an
prob-
answer.
This is probably a very low chance, but do we happen to see any particular dragonborns in the tavern?
Dragonborns. No. No
Nat
Dragonborns.
20. Oh, I love you, dice. Did I
Oh,
just
suddenly you love them.
I did. Yes. Because this is also the same dice that was giving me nat ones last game. It
Okay.
learned its
They're
lesson
trying
from
to.
Dice Jail.
They're trying to apologize. But
It
no,
learned its lesson.
as you're searching through, looking through all of these individuals, these patrons that some of them have patches, some of them don't. All of them are drinking.
Mm-hmm.
The most sober one that you seem to find looks to have about maybe 2 tankards, one in each hand. And is currently trading a drink. It's going one from the right hand, one from the left. It is currently trading them off, going off against another person with another patch. And you currently see the other one is they're going drink for drink, trying to see who's going to pass out first.
Oh dear, that's not conducive to our plans. Okay, is there one that isn't drinking?
You just said that's the least
No,
person
that's
drinking.
That's the least drunk person here.
Okay, that's not for a drunk man that isn't drinking currently.
No,
You don't want
No, everybody's sipping something.
everybody is drinking here. There is nobody sober. I don't know how you don't understand this.
You need to say in Spanish. Trust me, it works.
Nobody here is sober.
There has to be someone.
It's like
maybe they're hiding in the back.
it's like
The
expecting to find
bartender
a
even.
sober. It's like trying to find somebody sober in Oktoberfest. It's just not gonna happen.
The only people who are sober on Oktoberfest are the ones who puke their guts out.
Exactly.
Why
But
don't you just ask the bartender, hey, is there any guys around here?
Are there any guys around here?
Isn't there like a designated walker?
Oh my god!
What do you think this is?
Designated walker. These guys are pirates who are constantly dealing with death. Do you think any of them want to be sober?
I would hope at least one of them.
Oh my god, Clyde, you're too innocent for this type of shit, I swear.
Anyway.
Let's just
I respect the effort, but sadly, your effort is in vain.
Well, it kind of just looks around, seeing if there's any that have the that spider mark that was mentioned.
The spider on the crest, or the spider on the shield crest. There are a couple of them in here. There are like 16 of these patches that you can see around. So
And
there are a lot of them.
Yes.
Though most of them seem to be either drinking or enjoying their time with company. Publicly.
Clyde, are you very positive you want to have a guide when we could just go off and deal with this? I'm only asking now because I have a bad feeling.
I mean, it might be safer.
Might and certainly are two different things.
Well, if something happens, we can always leave them behind to fend off whatever might come our way. I'm not saying that we buy them as cannon fodder.
As all 3 of you, or all 4 of you, are actually not Brio, because there's all 5 of you. As all 5 of you are packed into this tavern, someone walks over. It looks to be a relatively tall man, not as tall as Narum, but comes over and drapes his arms over both both over Volus and Clyde. Just grabs you guys by the shoulders. Ah, greetings. You look like you are lost. Come, get a drink with us. And he works and shuffles you over to the side and is currently pushing you guys through the crowd.
Oh no.
Naru just looks back at the party and like, please help me.
Oh,
Clyde is like holding on to his little frog plush that's like pinned to his shoulder for dear life.
Those who are lost can certainly be found. Come along, we must drink. And in the repertoire of these individuals, he drags you along. And soon enough, you guys are pretty much shoved into the bar. And man leans over and points out to the bartender, speaking in a language you guys don't understand, and calls over. Bartender comes over, puts out large tankards for each of you.
Oh
Now,
dear.
you look like you are too sober to be here. Drink.
Thank you for the
Too much
drink.
talking. Drink.
Oh,
Takes a tankard up, and he currently puts it against your face.
oh,
Clyde's
Clyde.
worst nightmare. Peer pressure.
Clyde would take the tankard because, from the previous tavern experience, he knows that denying a drink is bad manners. But hold on, did they see them prepare these drinks?
Yes, you can see the tavern keeper is making these drinks as fast as they can.
Nothing was slipped into these drinks.
Make me an insight check.
Oh no. Oh no.
Please don't tell me you rolled a 1. Please don't tell me you rolled a
I
1.
did not roll a 1. I rolled a 13, but I have to look what I have for perception.
Wisdom.
And I don't have any pluses. Okay, so it's just a natural 13.
Natural 13. Okay. Looking at it, no, everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Well, now I'm like still a tiny bit nervous, but knowing the local code, he will accept the drink and he will take a healthy swig.
Clyde will just daintily
Grape, do I have to roll a Constitution check?
Clyde's
Nope.
more of a
Good.
margarita
You guys are just
type
drinking.
glass.
You
All
guys
right.
are drinking.
The fact that we're all this paranoid over a fucking tankard is beyond me.
Well, as you've been pulled over to the bar, you guys are just sitting there with pretty much half sitting, half standing. This bar is so crowded and packed that you could sit down where you wanted to because there's enough just pressure between bodies.
Yeah.
There's just an atmosphere around.
After emptying the tankard, Naren would not only order one for himself, but he would also order one for the person who has dragged them to the bar as a way of
Alright.
thanks.
The man that has dragged you to the bar is a relatively stout-looking man. Maybe only about 6'1", relatively tall. So that would be what, 2 meters? I believe.
6'1" would be about like 188, 190, 89 centimeters. So it's
rounded up.
it's on the taller side.
So I'd say I'd be 1.8. 1.8 meters.
Probably.
Like almost more like 190 almost.
That'd be, well, actually, yeah. Well, no, he'd be 195 centimeters.
Right?
He's tall. Not as tall as you, but tall nonetheless.
Well, if he's 195, he's taller than Narum. Narum's 191. He's 6'4".
I see. Niram has found somebody bigger than him.
Wouldn't be that uncommon.
Nope. But the man that stands there, a very palish skin that seems to have a repertoire around this area. A lot of people seem to suffer from this condition. Though being pale, he looks strong, healthy. A fine mustache that comes down and crawls across the face into a thick goatee that expands out into a beard. A rather odd sight, but the smile denoting the face is friendly. Exceptionally so. You see that on both shoulders is the patch of the spider that seems to be on top of this shield, acting as the crest. Currently, as you are all pressed against this bar, man is drinking along with you, and currently Clyde is... every time you try and put it down and try and speak to him, he just puts his hand on the base of the tankard and lifts it back up so you can keep drinking. Just no tucking.
Oh
Keep
dear.
drinking. There you go.
Clyde's just like staring into the tankard, not drinking any. It's like pressed up
Are you
against-
doing like the fake sips?
Yeah, like it's not going
Um,
down at all. It's just like
Hey,
delicious.
Grape.
Yes.
As Willis is taking like really small sips, but he kind of looks over to the bartender. How much are they paying for each like tanker?
There's coin go flying around this place. I mean, everybody is paying something.
But
So you don't. I mean, you see him pass out a couple of coins, but by the time the coins hit the table, or at least hit the bar, they're already being swept up in a tide of coin. I mean, this place is constantly moving.
I
As
see.
is doing so.
They keep making bank.
Yeah. Well, as more and more coin is being pushed out through and through, you find yourselves not only intrigued by this man, but he seems intrigued in you. Eventually, after about maybe 30 minutes of drinking, Ryoka on her about fifth tankard, she's just, she's having a good time. But everybody else there is currently trying to wonder what the hell is going on. Rowan, thankfully having eaten so much bread, all of the alcohol in his system is getting absorbed.
He's just bloating up because the bread in his stomach is being soaked up.
Yep, exactly.
Oh geez.
But hey, he's able to keep on going.
Poor Rowan.
Well, he
Clyde-
doesn't know how much this is hitting him because he has
Mhm.
so much bread in his system that it is just expanding.
Clyde is gonna like put his tankard down and try and slink off a little bit to like go towards like the stage and stuff and see if he just can't
There is
join
no
the band.
stage here.
There's no space
Just
for a
somebody-
stage.
There's just somebody sitting on a table strumming what looks to be some sort of a lute.
All right, we will join in with this man and start to play smooth jazz on the French horn.
Hey,
The
I have
jazz
a
won't work. The jazz doesn't match the atmosphere.
I have a
Alright,
funny
what-
idea.
All right,
What?
what does
As-
match the
1
atmosphere?
second. Near him first.
As
Alright.
Clyde stands up to go join the other bard, still thinking about what he wants to play, can Nerum like peek into the tankard, and if he sees that it's still filled, just chug it?
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
kind of
go
reach
for it.
over at Clyde's filled drink, just kind of, and just down it.
Just mumbles
Eventually
to
it-
himself. Be ashamed to let that leave. Let that stand here.
Yes, it's a shame, a pure shame. But as everything carries on, eventually you find yourself waiting. You're not even sure for what, but the space opens up. Roughly about, you're not even sure how much longer. Time just seems to pass by. And in doing so, you hear the rising and falling of the crowd as more people barrel in and others barrel out. Until eventually, from the sounds of dying laughter that just seem to almost announce an ending to the tavern's sprawling time. You guys are left in a tavern that is just caked in spilled beer, ale, mead, wine. People are plastered on the floor. There are men and women with the patches that are currently sitting there in their own chairs or stools and are currently drinking more. Most of them look astoundingly non-sober. However, going over it, you actually find yourselves rather intrigued, as the man still standing there beside you looks to be more than happy to continue talking. So, what brings you to our bar, eh? You seem to not be drinking too much. You don't drink, you don't talk. What do you do, eh?
Who is he talking to exactly?
You guys?
Yeah, I think he's just kind of addressing the party as a whole.
Simply just passing through, though. Won't lie when we say we've, I'd say, lost our way a little bit. Having to deal with those.
Losing your way is such a trouble. Please allow me to help. We have many fine men and women here. What can we do to assist some lost travelers? Huh?
What's the place that they have to go to again?
Frankly, you guys don't even know. You guys are told you need to go to a grave site.
Hello.
Looks over. Hello!
Hello. We need
Hello.
help getting to a specific grave site.
How many graves around here? Some of them are still yet to be buried.
Do you have a map, my good sir?
We have maps aplenty. We have maps of bodies. We have maps leading to treasure. We have maps of tunnels. What do you need?
I need a map of the land.
That we cannot help with.
Well, that's a shame.
However,
Clyde
what we
would
do have a map of the land is here. He points to his head. If we know the land, we can help.
Just
Clyde would describe the general area that they were told for the grave site that they have to get to.
I don't think we even have like a. Do we even have like a specific area that we can scout out? Because last
Yes,
time,
you guys do. Broken Ridge gave you guys a general direction, which is actually pretty much all you need.
Right. Clyde would say we gotta go that way, and just kind of like point.
like points in a
Man.
nondescript direction.
The man
That
thinks
way.
about it. The man thinks about it.
We gotta go
Master,
that
bring
way.
me a map. I might need to think about this some more. And as he says, bring me a map, the barkeep slides a tankard. Thank you. And chugs a tankard. My mind has been refreshed with a fresh map. Now,
Sorry.
the power of drunkards. They unlock more more parts of their brain the more drunk they are.
I have an idea as to what you're looking for. You see, down to the southern coast, there is a small graveyard. Though there is only one grave. Nobody has seen it, nobody knows where it is, but the rumors are true. However, I can lead you. Through the tunnels or above ground. I prefer the tunnels, though. I know more of those. If we go above ground, I would require another map. When he says that, another tankard slides into his hand. Do I require another map?
No, you do not require another map. We were hoping to go through the tunnels so that way we
Wonderful,
don't
wonderful.
freeze.
Instead of a map, I need courage.
He
He drinks the tankard anyway. He stands there, and he's slightly wobbly. When do we leave?
Whenever you're ready.
Wonderful. Allow us to get ourselves moving. Marquis, buy equipment. And another tankard. This time it's sealed. Good.
Is that his equipment?
Yeah. What else do you need than a bit of liquid courage?
On his way out, he is given somehow, you're not even sure how it happens, but he somehow, by the time he exits the door of the tavern, He has a full traveling pack, a sword, and a crossbow by the time he's already at the door.
Well, look at that.
12 pack of tankards.
No, it's you see there. I mean, he's going by and he's just picking up random bits of equipment from the bar. Looks like stuff that's just been left around.
Naram's gonna leave 5 gold coins at the tavern.
You leave the gold coins, and the bartender tips their head to you and gives you a small motion of thanks.
Clyde's gonna like lean over to the barkeep and he's just like, excuse me. How much would it be to get like a 12 tankard to go?
They look at you. This we can do. He goes over, and the small but squat man that is the bartender goes over and grabs what looks to be a large keg. Lunges into his arm and plops it onto the bar. This will hold you.
Naram will help out with carrying the keg.
You can carry the keg and lift it onto your shoulder.
Is he just giving this to
Hey, you guys are hiring him. You're hiring one of his workers, so might as well, right?
Yes. I must pack a lunch for this burly man.
Oh, remember, you've already seen him get his liquid, or you've already seen him get his courage and his map from drinking. So what else might he have? Don't know.
Who knows? Maybe if you fill up all the way, he just becomes as strong as a freaking cloud giant.
Who knows?
Only one way to find out.
All right. So, as you step out into the street, you guys are greeted by a small crowd. The crowd themselves look to be the usual, just denizens of this place. Men and women, however, roguishly big.
Mm-hmm.
As the man walks out, man with the patches, he just kind of runs into him. There's not normally a crowd out here. Would you mind moving? Yes, we would mind moving. Why? Because we have business to attend. Why? Because we have business. Why? What do you mean, why? Why? Wait, why have business with those people you're leading around? Why? Because they stole from us. Oh,
Wait,
you must not have secured your purse. Moving on. The guy dumbfounded, but it's like, hey, what? The man just kind of uses, he keeps the tankard up in the air so it doesn't spill. Moves the people aside and walks.
Clyde is following behind this big burly man, and he's like, "Yeah, he's with."
Yeah, well, it just follows along.
Why do I imagine Clyde just sandwiched between Naram and our newfound guide? Just like, yeah, what are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do?
Meanwhile, Clyde's like 5'9", and everyone around him is 6 foot and up.
You know what's even worse? I bet Rowan's gonna join in on that.
Well, Rowan is currently amazed by this man's charisma. He is shocked and awed at this man.
What is his charisma at?
I don't know. What is it?
Why do you ask?
Because I want to know if he has charisma maxed out like Clyde.
As you guys march your way through, the small rotund group of about maybe 8 or 9 people, you guys easily just circumvent it. He just makes a small
Great.
tap, pushing them out of the way, and steps through.
Great. Short question.
Yes.
Were these
Yes.
guys clad in rugged, like, black and grey garbs?
I mean,
Similar to the
yeah,
description that Valis gave?
very, very similar, yes.
Oh, would you look at that? Our problems just solved themselves.
As you are led from this place, you guys are very easily. I mean, this man is stumbling through the streets, but every time he stumbles, it seems to be in the right direction.
Oh dear.
By the end of it, you guys are currently standing at the. If you look at the map from what was given previously, no Mike, you'll see that at the far, what would be the cardinal northeastern portion of the map, at the far northern reaches of the city, you guys would actually see the long twisting spiral of stone that acts as a secondary exit/entrance through the tunnels. And at the base of it, there's a large guard tower that spans about 3 stories. At the side of it, the guards just kind of see you guys come by. And they want to stop you, but then they see the man who's leading you and just kind of motion you on. You guys seem to be have already paid your tolls or are going to pay nonetheless. And just as you ascend to the top ports of this long strand of stone leading into the tunnels, you guys pass by a couple of other groups. Some of them are little caravans, traveling carts, and merchants that are being brought through. And you see they're being led by the same individuals, small patches on their shoulders on the spider and shield. Just as you're about to enter the tunnel's mouth, you guys are brought forth. And you see that not only are you hopefully in good hands, you have nothing to worry about. Hopefully.
So what I'm hearing is we gotta keep him drunk 24/7 and we'll be fine.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm. As they're walking, Clyde would kind of like ask them, being like, "So, why'd you choose the spider?"
Ah, what do you mean choose a spider?
Your patch, it's a spider on a shield.
Yes, so?
Why is it a spider? Is there any like significant meaning behind it, or?
I don't know. Allow me to check with my memory.
He like pours a like a giant mug full of the keg.
At this point, we have like a tube going to the freaking tankard from the keg.
Yeah.
God.
Just open the
If
tap and the
anything, he
tankard
has-
fills.
No, if anything, he has one of those like drink hats
Oh my
that we just have
god.
to keep refilling.
As he stands there and drinks this last portion of his fill. I remember now. Or do I? Drinks the rest of it. He's still a bit foggy. Puts the tankard out just underneath the keg.
Narum just like opens the tap.
It fills up, closes it. Ah, yes. From what I know, it is a patch.
But do you know
Guess that's your
why it's
answer.
on the patch?
Quite frankly, I do not. All I know is that it is a good patch and makes me safe to travel.
Okay.
Well, as your friendly guide just so happens to start leading you through the tunnel, you step off into the darkness that just awaits you. Though, as he steps off, you guys do see ahead that there are bits and pieces of lantern light and torches that seem to be burning throughout. So there seems to be one about every 30 or so feet. The tunnels look like they go on forever. As you step out into them, we'll go ahead and actually end there for today's Slash Tip.
Thank you for the awesome session.
Thank you very much for all the shenanigans.
Well, other than that, I do hope you guys enjoy. But let's go ahead and get the usual stuff out of the way. Hello, chat and others. I hope you enjoyed our small shenanigans and antics. Granted that sometimes they happen more often than not. Hopefully, if you guys wish, you guys can actually come by again. We like to try and keep our schedule of meeting every Saturday, just about every 2:30 p.m. East to about 8:30 p.m. European. If you guys want to come out and check, you guys can actually check the notifications that are sent on the Discord. And you can also go ahead and check out the YouTube playlist if you want to find out just what so happened has, proliferated. God, English sucks today. What has happened before? Let me dumb it down for myself. You can check out the YouTube playlist. But other than that, greetings and salutations and goodbye. We hope you enjoyed. We hope you'll come by again. And before I start begging, I'll hand it over to Bean.
Thank you very much. I can always just repeat, thank you very much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed our little fun session that we have try to have every week. Good old life likes to throw its, I don't know, boulders and steel beams in the way. But we manage. Anyways, as Grape mentioned before, hopefully the next session will start at around 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Or 8:30 Central European. There might be some delays due to player availability. There might be cancellations and postponements. But that is just how D&D is. Anyways, hope you enjoyed and have a lovely evening.